What a privilege to be back with you, family. It's Elena, and it is time, finally, for study session 12. Oils for perimenopause and menopause. Yes, I said it. I, at the tender young age of 47, coming from a mom who was through menopause by 45, am now full throttle perimenopause, and this is a process that can take many years. So whether you are in your 30s, your 20s, or you're postmenopausal, this is a session that will help you orient yourself to the oils that can help you, support your well-being, support your emotional health, and support your mental health as you navigate these waters. So thanks for joining me today, and I will be brief as possible. First, it's a slow process. And perimenopause can be up to 5 years in the making. I'm pretty sure that mine started at least 2 years ago. Again, I'm 47, so it definitely started when I was around 45. And it's a very long transition. That's the truth. Your body is slowly coming out of the phase of being able to bear children and going into a phase of actually being able to receive wisdom. That's how I see it. That's how I feel it intuitively in my body. And I'm very proud to present this to you because the oils that I have chosen today that we've researched, thank you again, Jenny Murray, for your work, have helped me a lot. So here goes. The symptoms of menopause, I'll just relay briefly. Most of you know what they are, and if you don't, you can look out for them. Hot flashes are very normal. I get a few every now and again, but many fewer now that I'm using the oils consistently. Irregular cycles, moods. I've definitely noticed that, where all of a sudden I'm feeling so smooth and so calm, and then all of a sudden there's a spike in me that I can sort of recognize also happening in my kid at 11 when his hormones start to get going. I have the same experience in my body these days, and not so often anymore now that I'm supporting myself with the oils, but I definitely notice, a significant shift in my moods. Now, of course, I have meditation and oils to mitigate that. Vaginal dryness. I have yet to experience that, TMI, but I know that that is an issue, and I will share with you tips to combat it. Difficulty sleeping. Hair thinning, I have noticed that. Not the difficulty sleeping, but I have noticed my hair getting thinner also. Abdominal weight gain, I haven't noticed because I've been taking really good care of myself. That scares me a little bit. And obviously decreased fertility. So these are all symptoms of menopause. You'll know also that as you go through life, your gut biome changes. And in menopause, in particular, your microbiome in your gut changes significantly. So we move from the estrogen levels falling, the vaginal micropopulation shifts away from the lactic acid producers to other species of microbia, which affects obviously your gut. As a result, also your vaginal lining changes, as we just mentioned. The pH there rises, which is what accounts for dryness. So we're going to talk about how to change that. Obviously, the first line is your food. So before we even get into the oils, it's super, super important to address your diet. All the endocrine disruptors that are found in processed foods have to go. And I will say that when I've done that for myself, now that I've really stuck to it, I'm now about 3 months in, no processed food. I think the only thing processed that I've eaten recently is tempeh or tofu. Everything else is from a plant, from the ground, or from a tree. And it's an experiment that I'm doing just to see how things go. Of course, my skin is much better. Of course, the moods are lessening. Of course, I'm more apt to actually reach for the oils in the first place, because I'm so dedicated to taking care of myself. So your food can actually help with the microbial balance, the pH balance in your vaginal walls and your gut. So this is very important information to have plenty of probiotics. even before the oils. Make sure you're taking care of yourself with your probiotics. Lots of healthy dietary fats. Your avocados, if you're able to eat nuts, really good clean nuts, but please guys, don't make the mistake of eating too many nuts at a time. Your liver can only process a few at a time. This is something I learned many years ago and I chose to ignore for a long time. And now I'm actually not eating any nuts at all. My body feels so much lighter and better. 6 to 12 nuts at a time. That's the number. They're very dense. They're very nutritious. And if you can, soak them and then really savor them and only eat that many at a time, and you'll see that your body has plenty of energy. And there's no heaviness in the digestive tract. In your baths, you're going to want to use your sea salts, magnesium salts, and your essential oils. You'll always want to, as I've mentioned before in previous talks, put your oils into your salt prior to putting the salt in the bath, please. Even if you're using very mild, mellow oils, putting the oils on the salt prior to the bath is the safest way for your skin. You can burn your skin with essential oils. These are potent plant compounds. They are to be respected. Put them on your salts prior to getting in, and put them in your oil prior to putting the carrier oil into your tub. Herbs that you can take: Vitex, black cohosh, wild yam, evening primrose. I take evening primrose now for many years, and I definitely think that's helping as well. I've noticed when I don't have it for any length of time, a difference. Day-to-day protection and lubrication for your vaginal walls and vaginal outside. Hey, Nadine Artemis, thank you for your book. Renegade Beauty has changed my life. Someday I'll talk to you. Oils to protect and lubricate: aloe vera, oils of coconut, cacao butter, jojoba oil. These are all tissue rejuvenating essential oils to go into the oil that you may or may not choose to use on your vagina. Yes. Here we go. Rose, frankincense, ylang ylang, myrrh. Really nice carrier oils: sea buckthorn, try and get organic, jojoba. And fractionated coconut oil is fine too. I personally like jojoba oil for this purpose, and I like sea buckthorn oil as well. Both are very nourishing, and sometimes the coconut oil can be a little drying, frankly. Things to avoid: endocrine disruptors, synthetic lubricants, and spermicides. It's really important. Don't take the pill, please. Don't interrupt your hormones if you can avoid it. Obviously, if you have a situation with endometriosis or something like that and you have to take the pill, please go with what your doctor is advising you to do. But if you can avoid having spermicides inside of you, that will help a lot. Avoid tampons. Use organic when needed. I finally caved and started using the Diva Cup, and it's awesome. The company for your Diva Cup is called Genial Day, Genial Day, and they make a great product that does not have all the plastic poisons in them. Avoid douching at all costs. Just dries you out. Overdoes the cleaning, and you don't need it. If you take probiotics, you're going to be fine, and your vaginal flora will rebalance. Synthetic soaps, really bad. If you can use a natural soap that's olive oil based, that's much better for this region. Any chemical bath additives, really not advisable. And Nadine says shaving your pubic hair is actually not advisable too. So I'm just gonna get real personal here and say, just keep it trimmed. You don't need to shave it off. It's what God gave you. And moving on. So, since flowers are the reproductive organs of the plants, this also is from Nadine Artemis and Renegade Beauty. Thank you again. Their oils are basically the love liniments of nature, okay? So they are here to attract the pollinators into the flower. And as we said, if you use them for your own lubrication, this is a very good idea. She is thinking about rose, jasmine. Those are great for this purpose. As we have already mentioned, for this purpose, frankincense, ylang ylang, myrrh, all in a carrier oil, never direct. Let's talk about the essential oils that we can use in the diffuser on your feet. We have Clary sage, excellent for balancing your hormones. We have Geranium, which I've been using for quite some time now on the soles of my feet, morning and night. Also excellent for balancing the hormones, and I've noticed a great shift since I started doing that, and I do it very consistently. Pardon. Jasmine, incredible. You can just use this. I always like to roll it here. My friend Zia likes to swim and bathe in it. So I smell it all day. I had a couple questions this week about what are good oils for using for aphrodisiacs, and jasmine is most definitely one of them. Bergamot, coriander. I like mixing these two in the diffuser in the mornings. Super nice. Also very balancing and very uplifting, not just for balancing your hormones, but also for work. I love these two. I get such focus from these two together and use them often. Ylang ylang is another one that can be used in your diffuser at night. I like ylang ylang with a little bit of the jasmine, or frankincense is so nice, and some lavender is beautiful at night. I personally find that the lavender roller, basic as it is awesome for me. When I'm having any sort of a strong mood swing, this is really good for me. And just rolling it around on my feet or my hands, and bringing it up to my neck, sides of my neck too. Basic as it is. Obviously the rose roller makes me so happy. I have this everywhere. I have indulged myself, and I've got one in my bag. I've got one next to the bed, and I've also got one here on my sitting desk. And this is one of the biggest treats you'll get for yourself. It's super balancing, super nourishing, and super uplifting. And the roller can be used if you are using for lubrication vaginally direct, because it's already diluted. Cypress is also awesome to diffuse with almost any of these. Clary sage, geranium, bergamot, coriander. You know, cypress is the oil of motion and flow, so that keeps things moving along. One of the greatest things I can tell you emotionally for this time, if you're going through it, is always focus on how quickly you can let things go. I talk about this a lot, both in my coaching for my team and in my own yoga teaching that I do and meditation teaching. How soon can I let this thing out of my life? Cypress is so good for that. Whether it's a mood or an opinion or a thought, how soon can I let it go? Oils for premenopause, also known as perimenopause. Your Clary Calm blend right on your belly is fantastic. Clary sage, diluted or direct on your feet, depending on how you like it. Other products, obviously your phytoestrogen complex and your bone nutrient complex. Those are both really excellent supplements. I have several people on my team who are using the phytoestrogen regularly and finding great results, especially with their skin. So that's something to keep in mind as well. Esters make an essential oil very relaxing to the nervous system. So the presence of ester compounds are in your lavender, your geranium. Both will help to soothe the nerves and maintain the progesterone estrogen balance during PMS and menopause. So that's why when I hold those up to you and I say these are two very good for hormone balancing, you're literally balancing the estrogen and the progesterone in your system, which helps to bring you back to earth, as it were. Let's see what else we can tell you. The herb Vitex is meant to be very equalizing. This is from Kurt Schnaubelt, The Healing Intelligence of Essential Oils, one of the science books that I frequent for information. I know that Pure Encapsulations makes a nice chaste tree supplement. That's Vitex. Vitex is actually an herb from the chaste tree. Let's talk about some blends and then we'll close out. Okay. Thyroid support. Clove and lemongrass in a 10 milliliter rollerball. Really nice. Let's talk about the exact measurements with a few other oils. On your 10 milliliter Rollerball, frankincense, 10 drops. Myrrh, 10 drops. Lemongrass, 8 drops. Clove, 4 drops. Peppermint, 4 drops. And the rest you can put your fractionated coconut oil, should be about 2 teaspoons full. And that you can apply to the thyroid on your throat a couple times a day. Really nice for those of you who are suffering from any thyroid stuff. Hormone Synergy Blend. Thank you, Dr. Marisa. For this one, Smart Mom's Guide to Essential Oils, page 194. Another awesome resource for you, whether you're a mom or not. Hormone Synergy Blend, a 10 ml Rollerball bottle from Dr. Marisa. 10 drops of Clary Sage. 8 drops of lavender. 8 drops of Geranium. 4 drops of Bergamot. And 4 drops of ylang ylang. Also filling to the rim with fractionated coconut oil or your carrier oil, and you can roll these blends over your ovaries and pulse points, neck, ankles, wrists a couple times a day. 2 more blends for you. This is from Awaken to Healing Fragrance, also a great resource, page 243. Pardon me. This is a nice spray for when you get a hot flash. I love a good spray when that happens. 10 drops of Clary Sage. 6 drops of Geranium. 3 drops of sage, regular sage, if you can get your hands on it. If not, it's fine. You can up the Clary Sage a little bit. 8 drops of lemon. And 4 drops of cypress. And then you would add 2 ounces of distilled or purified water in a spray bottle. I'm told that distilled water is actually better for the misting purposes with essential oils, but I've used regular purified water that I get out of my water purification system, and it's fine. Lastly, water retention and bloating formula. This is great for sprays. I also like this in a Rollerball as well. 5 drops of fennel. 5 drops of juniper. 15 drops of lemon. Obviously, nothing with lemon is meant to be used in the sunshine. And 5 drops of peppermint. That one's going to cool you off too. That's from the Fragrant Pharmacy by Valerie Ann Warwood, page 298. Okay, these are all very important and delightful resources. The Awaken to Healing Fragrance is by Elizabeth Ann Jones. I'll be sure to get some resources posted up to the comments here for you. And I think that's enough information for now. I am very thankful to be of service in this way. I know it's been a long time coming and I've been wanting to help, but I never felt like it was right until I was actually going through it. Now that I am, I'm glad to share. There'll be more on this, I'm most certain, but this is a really good basics primer. We also, Jenny and I, in the research, we use Modern Essentials textbook and obviously Renegade Beauty, as I mentioned, and I think that's all. Okay, let me go ahead and check on the comments to see if there's anything that I'm missing. Hello from Maryland. Jill, nice. Oh, good, very good. Good, good. Very good, nothing so far. Gabrielle, thank you so much. At what age can I start preparing my body for menopause, turning 40 and starting to think about it? So Emily Vézier, hi, bonjour, bonsoir. I would start by just eating well, getting your diet in gear. Cut out the sugar. Sugar's really made a big difference in my life. Cutting it out has made a tremendous difference. And also get your sleep. It's such a big deal for me. When I don't sleep enough, it really makes an impression on my family. It's not good. That's how I would prepare. Get your nutrition in gear, start to establish regular routines with your oils, take good care of yourself, and get good sleep. I think that's it. That was all the questions. Leslie, nice to see you. Rose is beautiful indeed. Colleen, thank you. Manon. Okay, perfect. Thank you so much, guys. It's nice to see you here and have a beautiful rest of the week. I should be back early next week.